Hello, it's Garden with Grandma, Felicia Mans. And I just wanted to know, I don't know if you can see everything, I'm going to check it here in a second. But I'm getting ready to transplant these 2 tomato plants out of this box and put them in these big buckets by themselves. Because I don't think the root system is going to survive if I keep them in there together. They're like fighting for the same nutrients, like biting for the same area, and that's what I'm going to do now here in a minute. I'm going to very carefully take that out of there and put those into the buckets. And you should be interested to know that over here, the lettuce is just looking beautiful. See how I put the shade over here in the evening time so that the sun wouldn't burn them up. But oh my goodness, just look at how beautiful. Aren't they just lovely? And then the greens over here are looking really beautiful and healthy over there. Now, the tomatoes look like they're a little bit overwatered, but you know, it's been a lot of rain lately. So right now I'm just trying to hope for the best with these tomatoes. But over here, the greens, you see all the rows? And the next time I get an opportunity, I'm going to plow in between each individual row to make sure that I'm not getting any weeds, because the weeds are not so bad over here yet. But let me tell you something that I discovered about this tarp. If you remember from the earlier videos, we did 2 different kinds of weed tarping out here. The thicker one seems to be working better. This thinner one, if you can see that buffers, see where it's kind of puffy? That is a boatload of weeds growing up underneath the tarp. So it's not like it got rid of the weeds. It's just like it's hiding them. You know, because you come out here and this thing looks like it's got a great big puff up underneath it all the way down here. And that is all just weeds growing up under there. Eventually, they're going to crawl forward and choke out my tomato plants. So I'm going to have to go in there and rip all that out. Okay, now over here, we have just a new growth here. I put it all together because I'm going to put a little netting over it to keep the squash bugs down. And over here, we have some cucumbers coming. Going down the middle over here, we have our root vegetables, our radishes, carrots, and beets. And back toward the fence, we got some green beans coming with some newfangled system that I hooked up for it to crawl up the twine. That's looking good. Of course, the tomato plants are looking ridiculous that we're in the greenhouse. So we go in the greenhouse. Wow. Greens are looking real nice. I'm ready to eat. And see this one? I'm going to separate these 2. Because he's just growing. And I'm going to keep the dill and the cilantro back there and try and preserve that and put something else in that pot, like maybe a pepper plant. So I'm going to go over here and see if I can do this. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this process, but I'm going to try and put it here and see how we're showing right now. Well, you can see a little bit of what's going on. So let me get the pot. I got these pots. These buckets. And I'm getting ready to throw some gravel in the bottom. Why? Because I want it to have a little bit of aeration across the bottom. Later, I think I might take a flamethrower and try and bust some holes in the bottom. But I want like a, what do they call those things? A French drain? A French drain where the bottom has these rocks at the bottom. And it'll let kind of a little bit of aeration underneath the soil. Now, I got two different kinds of soil here. One of them was real cheap, just really kind of a pot filler. The other one is a nice Miracle Grow. So I was planning on splitting it and putting this particular dart half in one and half in the other, then the plant, and then the Miracle Grow. So we're going to put that in there just like that, halfway. I'm filling up the pot halfway with the regular basic planting potting mix that I got from the dollar store, believe it or not. And it really looks pretty good. Take a look. See how nice and rich that dirt looks? It really doesn't look bad at all. Not like that dirt I got that had the debris all in it. Now, carefully, we're going to take this tomato plant out of this pot. Really wasn't planning on using this. Let me get another spade because that one is too scoopy. Okay, hang in there a second. Now this spade is much better. It allows me a little bit more leeway on how I'm doing what I'm doing. We're going to go with this one first. And I'm going to try and manipulate this bulb right up out of here. I'm going to take the stake out. It's just confusing the issue. You know what? I think even the shovel is confusing the issue. I'm kind of trying to feel for the bulb of root system that's going along with this tomato plant. It's pretty good. It's pretty much in there. Okay, so now here we go. We're going to put it right over here. Just like that. Now, same thing with the other one. I'm trying to literally get this whole root system out of here. However deep it goes. Alright, we were able to keep the strings on there, which is good.